More baguette than bacon butty these days. There's an interview with Alex. A difficult start for them on Inferno. I think most people would have expected that to be a convincing win for Virtus.pro, but you want to see a bit more bite in the dog of Cloud9 there. So, I mean, they got shut down in a lot of situations, which is fair enough, but I think the real game starts for them now.
Yeah, I think so too. I was actually just asking Maui, who didn't get the chance to be on the desk before this game, kind of some of his thoughts, and he was saying that he thinks that on Inferno they had some roles that weren't going to work out that well. He was saying that Floppy doesn't normally play B, for example, but Maui thinks that on Overpass that's not going to be a problem. He thinks everyone's going to get their spots, so shout out to Maui for that. Make sure to watch out for that in the game, because Cloud9 should be looking much better here on their pick.
That is an extremely sideways keyboard that we have there. Are you a sideways keyboard kind of guy?
Not really. Not massively. Maybe like a little bit.
Yeah, there are some people, I think, maybe more like arena shooters. I don't know if they still play with their keyboard on their lap. You know, Space was at a premium back in the day. That was an interesting interview with Alex. What stood out to me as a person with asthma is that, you know, from pesticides and stuff in the countryside, he's got 60% lung capacity. I know when I feel short of breath, it really sucks even walking around. So that has got to be pretty frustrating. But he can still deliver on the server. And despite the score in the previous game, I think he did have a reasonable performance, despite them not getting the results they needed in terms of rounds. And now we get to see them start on the T side of Overpass. Virtus.pro choosing the side as this is the map pick of Cloud9. Many players moving towards the playground, not for the swings though. Only Jame on the A-bomb site at present. Well, peeking around party, but he's fallen back to the A-bomb site. VP will have a look towards short B and make sure no one's actually lurking outside. But can they rotate fast enough? Because Cloud9 seem to be Wing all the way.
Making sure they clear the bathrooms out first, though, and that is allowing time for this rotation. 2 CTs now arriving on A. A third man is getting into the picture. That's Yakinda arriving just before the push into this A-bomb site. Smokes at the ready, being deployed onto the site itself. And we are ready to go. Flashes over the top, and Woxic's able to get the first kill. Passive play from the CTs, but Sanji's isolated on the bomb site. He's still alive, though, and he's still doing damage. 2 kills from Sanji. He's surely going to fall here. Finally, they run him down, but the rotate has arrived. And, oh, Cloud9 have found the gap. They're going B.
They really are. Bombs being thrown on the floor to be collected by Floppy. Now, they don't have any smokes to hold down the balcony position. They will keep the high ground of S-Tag. Awkward fights are to come, though. That's a great insta-headshot from him. I didn't know there's a 2v1 to be had on the bomb site itself. Floppy trying to take matters into his own hands, but he couldn't quite land the headshot there. Buster makes the opening. 2v1 now. S-Tag last seen upstairs, but is he still upstairs? Bomb kind of planted for him. Smoke grenade is going to cause some problems. He's got a kit as well, Jame. But is he going to be able to get land the defuse? No, he's down, but so is S-Tag. Buster with the trade, finds the kit, and there's the pistol round for Virtus.pro.
It's a great call from Cloud9 to get down to that B site, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's S-Tag making that call. He's had the freedom to make a few individual calls like that. This initial kill looked good as well onto the A site, but Sanji just stayed alive for so long. I think he really wins them the round there by getting those 2 kills, and then even though Cloud9 made a good maneuver to get to the B site, that smoke for the bomb was always going to make things really tricky for S-Tag in the clutch. Great round from both teams, but VP win it out, and Jame instantly goes for the orb. He was a little bit quiet on that first map, James. I'd like to see more from Jame on this one.
Shades of Woxic on the second round of Inferno, but will he have the same fate? Because Cloud9 lost that round. Now, Buster, does he check to his right or his left? There's a trade. That's enough for now, but Yekendar's still here. There's more aggression to come from Virtus.pro. Very brazen plays here. Woxic trying to do what he can with the scout, but that won't happen either. The bomb is still in the control of Cloud9. That's a plus. 2 versus 3 with 1:20 on the clock. Who does that favor? Jame upstairs with the AWP. Focus on B from the remainder. KiNK with an awkward as angle as possible. 1-for-1. Mezzi from range with the Mac-10. Now the question is, where is Jame and what does he have? A minute on the clock for Mezzi, and he will look to reset the situation.
Mezzi came close on a couple of clutch scenarios over on the first map. We've talked about how he's been brought into this team to win clutches like this. As an inexperienced player, that is a hard thing to do, but Mezzi started this one as well as he could, and I think he's making the right read here. He's going up through connector, up towards the A-bomb site. He's probably not going to use his nades because he doesn't want to give the game away, but that's not going to be a problem. Jame not in position. Now the smoke goes down. Oh, it's a fake though. Jame is coming up to the A bomb site. Mezzi's going back down to B. Can Jame read this though? I don't think he's aware of it. The molly from Mezzi to cut off the rotate. He's going to get himself a free bomb plant here.
Onto the site he goes. 20 seconds, but once he's there, he might not be going anywhere. It's going to be really difficult to escape. Mezzi on the left side, not as difficult as I thought. He slinks away completely, and James got no idea. He's convinced he's still on the site, I think. Mezzi on the low ground now. Does he spot the jump? Just about. Great play from Mezzi to clutch the round. Much needed from Cloud9. Once again, opportunity knocks. We're not on Inferno anymore. They've reset VP after they lost the pistol. Again, they're in a strong position, but what a wild round.
Yeah, what a round from Mezzi. That is massive. And this is what Henry G had to say after the first map. A little bit cold onto the server, but it's their pick, and VP played an excellent game. Everyone calm down. Plenty of CS to go. I think Henry's right. I think Overpass should be a better affair for Cloud9. And for what it's worth, on Mezzi, I did an interview with him like 6 months ago, and he said the two players he looked at most were Zipex and Cold Zero. Two great clutch players. He's already showing up here.
Not too shabby, but here we go again. Yekindar, how's he got two from that? They're just walking into the Deagle. No response from Cloud9. Caught sleeping again. No, it's not Inferno, but it's a 5-on-3 versus VP's force buy. That seems so simple.
All right, that's finally Yekindar taken out of it, yeah. Get him out of the server instantly, because he's been landing some stunning shots so far today. That Deagle close range is just so good when you can spam to the body, just with 2 body shots for the kill. That's why Yekindar's playing there. And now Cloud9 have to just come back into the 3v4.
Looks like Floppy will be holding on a flank and protecting the fallen weapons for now. See if he picks up an AK later. I think there's one on the floor. They've got to be careful with time. This is such an awkward position as far as time is concerned once you get onto a bomb site. If we're talking sub 25 seconds and VP have this many players alive with smokes as well, trying to plant that bomb could be what loses you the round. 35 seconds. And they're not on the bomb site just yet. Look at the response. Floppy's still waiting for that rotation. His patience has been paid off. But where do they go? 25 seconds. They're nowhere near a bomb site. Look where the bomb is. It's at the beginning of the toilets. VP will gamble a second player towards that A bomb site. 19 seconds on the clock. And they have not breached yet. They don't know the climate on the bomb site. Sanji's here with the Deagle. That's a nasty flick from Sanji. Just killing time now as more rotation comes through. Woxic in a 1 versus 2. That's a nice headshot with the Glock, but it's not enough. He's got to commit to the bomb plant. They can rush him. They can converge on him. Down to the Glock. He knows he's damaged him. Woxic, oh my God, he's the aim. 1v1 now. Buster coming from the toilets and he's clutched it again. Another scary round for Cloud9, and they just about survive with 1 player alive.
Woxic's high sensitivity was just checking every angle there, trying to figure out where Jame was. He finally realized that Jame had backed off. The opening kills from Yekindar were really well taken, but Mezzi heard those steps, spray back, Floppy gets another kill, and even though Sanji comes close here, Woxic with a really nice clutch, and we are starting to see more from the individuals of Cloud9. The problem is we're only getting to see more of the individuals because they're getting put into these clutch scenarios, because these rounds are getting a little close for comfort. But at least Cloud9 convert back-to-back rounds, and this gives them a chance to actually build up some money, to actually get themselves into this game, which never really happened for them on Inferno. So I'm glad they win some early rounds. Now, Virtus.pro have got a B stack in this one, and Sanji's up close with the Zeus.
Oh, here we go again. Sanji with the Zeus. I can't believe my eyes. However, Cloud9 have prevailed. For now. Yekindar is still alive, and he's been causing them some problems. Looks to, again, very patient with the Desert Eagle. No need to give him a 1v1 there. Let him stand there with the Deagle. Maybe a chance for Cloud9 to stabilize now to just have a bit of a breather. Because boy, has this been difficult. But there are positives to be had from that. They've had to try and survive early. And these tests may make them stronger for the carnage to come. Curious to see what we'll see from the next buy round from Virtus.pro. They basically split this area on the CT side earlier on, which was very exciting to watch. So who knows what is to come. Yekindar offered nothing. Again, no need to chase him down. Best you can do is win $300 by fragging him. Worst you can do is die, lose an AK, and cost yourself a $5,000 for the next round. Just leave him to his devices.
Definitely the right decision. Cloud9 making sure their money is strong. We saw in Inferno all those economy issues they had, so I think that's something they are stressing at the start of Overpass. And we've got Orps out for Woxic and Jame. Jame is going to be playing in those bathrooms. He's got a good spawn as well, so we might see Jame go for the mid pick early. Let's see if Cloud9 are willing to fight him, though, as Jame looks for the angle, trying to line it up. Flash comes in, and Jame decides to play safe.
Yeah, he's deep towards A alone for the time being, entrusted. You see the rifle support later on. In the meantime, Alex makes a play. Oh, he's got a nice headshot onto Sanji. Taste of his own medicine with the MAC-10. Traded by KiNK, however. May have got some information. We'll see how he chooses to shape the round now. And going in first with the MAC-10, he's dead, which allows him to focus on the IGL with the remaining riflers. This is a strong buy from Virtus.pro in terms of weaponry. Mainly smokes that remain for them. Still Jame playing alone more or less around a toilet position. Maybe Yekindar jump peeking long. Cloud9 looks to burst on long. There we go. Jame is activated early.
That angle was just so hard to clear from the T side, especially if Jame's holding it from further away. He's going to see you and you're barely going to see him. So Jame playing a nice position to get himself an early kill. And now a rotate is coming up to this A site. Virtus.pro stacking heavily on A. They've got Buster pushed into B short, so they've got 3 CTs on this A bomb site. Cloud9 do have nades, but they're going to need clean kills to get onto the site itself.
Yeah, Buster can see Monster from where he is, I believe, which is why they're just entrusting everyone to walk into Jame's AWP. And this is the rifle support I was talking about. It activates late, which allows Jame the luxury of focusing on toilets. Here comes the two-man swing from the remainder of Cloud9. But there are so many CTs here. 13 seconds, the bomb is on the floor, and it's Woxic's turn to save the AWP. Not much more he can do, but look to hide in plain sight. A quick jump, and the hunters are coming. He is surrounded. He does not want to die after time, so he's got to force the fight somewhere. Oh, that's a close one. But down he goes. Virtus.pro now with their first round since the pistol.
And Cloud9's money is pretty borderline here. I think they probably would be buying. There's the kill from Alex onto Sanji. And this is the tight angle we were talking about with the AWP of Jame. He's much better served in that position. I thought Mezzy might wait for his teammates to push long there, because pushing it alone through the bathrooms when you know Jame was there with the AWP, it's a really risky game. And just giving away that kill puts them in such a hard spot.
Yeah, and I think it was maybe a gamble expecting the AWP to rotate, but with the rifle support, there was no reason for him to. But they were not able to deduce that in that round. Now we see some shortcomings for Cloud9. The AWP and 2 AK-47s. There's a lot of utility, however. Buster again with a brazen position, this time with support from Sanji for now. Now if he elevates and sits on the rail, we can see the feet as people come in short B. In the meantime, there's a focus on the A bomb site for Cloud9. But look at the response. Yekindar moving up the long position while Jame tries to defend with the AWP. He's got angles. He also has some trouble as well. The Brolan-esque smoke that we spoke about yesterday is put down. Helps him create a bit of a wall. And Sanji's here. Looking, they're lining up for him. Caught Alex completely off guard. He has support as well, and again, the CTs are delaying now. The flank is eliminated by Floppy. Trying to plant, James still lurking. Easy angles for him. There's the power of that smoke, one of them. Quite a few things you can do. A lot of time on the clock here. Such an awkward spot for Cloud9, and then there were 2. S-Tag's gone. That leaves Floppy with low HP, and Woxic as well.
And Woxic taking the tag down to 37. He's going to get back to the bathrooms. Normally a strong spot to play the post plant from, but when you're so low like this in a 2v4, it's not looking good for Cloud9. Woxic's looking for an early fight. They still haven't tapped that bomb, but that's finally going to happen, and now Woxic has to be scared of the defuse. He gets the first kill. Floppy spamming the bomb, but they realize they're not on it yet. Woxic still not able to connect. They're not finding the angle, and this should be it. Sanji and Yekindar both cleaning up the kills. Good effort from Cloud9 getting onto the site in the first place, but VP just surviving at long made it really tricky for Cloud9 there, and they weren't ready for that fast rotation. They couldn't get down into bank, into dumpster. That might have allowed them to plant on the other side of the site, but as soon as Alex goes down, they have no real way of getting that bomb down easily, and VP always have a favorable retake.
You can see the problems that smoke causes from the CTs when they drop it between long and the default plant spot. Can't plant there for free with that smoke up, but there's nowhere else that they could plant. But maybe if they waited with the time they had, maybe it would have got even more awkward for them. And it's still awkward now with pistols and a MAC-10. A cameo MAC-10 for Alex. Mezzi. Oh, Buster's caught completely off guard, trying to support his teammates, but still Cloud9 not with as much success as you might expect, but it will continue. Sanji falling back. He has to try and stay alive for that rotation to come through. Yekindar with a slow flank in the meantime, 2 by the barrels. A 2-man spray down for Sanji, and 4 rounds for Virtus.pro.
Sanji getting those 2 kills is pretty impressive. I thought he was about to get caught out, and then if they lost the site, there could have been some cause for concern. This is Mezzi just spamming desperately with the Tech-9. Couldn't get the clean kill, which might have allowed a quick push onto the site, and then real issues to arise for Virtus.pro. But it's VP into the lead. 4-3 in their favor. Sanji lining up the smoke. I don't know if I've seen that before. Where does that one go?
Fast one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, okay.
That's
with
really
Molly's
nice
ahead of it, so you can't even see where the Molly is. That's painful.
Yeah, it's gone all the way into that choke point.
Look at Yekindar.
Wow.
Look where he's standing.
That's that deep smoke, though. That's why he can get there.
It's almost
really
a minute
cool.
40 on the clock. It's almost a minute 40 on the clock, and he's almost in T-spawn. How do you respond to this, Cloud9? You have absolutely no upper information. You have to expect 3 players on B. Oh, boy. Waiting for the doors to be open. They don't have anybody in connector. So the CTs could, in theory, pinch them here. They would have no idea. Sanji's seen the bomb, but there's a trade. The Def Cam will give him a lot of players, but again, they're in position already. Can they deliver? Buster's good for 1. The trades are here. KiNK now looking for the transfer. 2 versus 2. Bombs on the floor. James about to get smoked off. There's Yekindar coming in for the flank. Bombs being collected. They got half the information now. James on the way down. See if he goes for any wall bangs. Awkward situation. Out comes James. Who goes first for Virtus.pro?
James looking for an early angle. Oh, Alex almost got spotted there. Smoke being plopped down by James to allow him to move on out, but it's Yekindar who might be able to get some kills from the back lines. He's just used a flashbang though, so the information's gathered here. Cloud9 know where they're coming from, but James got the angle from above, and Mezzi is left in the clutch. 1v2, here's the first man, gets the first headshot. It's up to James, who's up on top of the site, and Mezzi's hearing him. Mezzi's trying to find it, but James jumps up, and I think he's just got time. It's a close one, but James has the kit, and Virtus.pro have yet another round.
Down to the wire. Virtus.pro, they're working well together when they're in the low numbers. That flashbang was really solid. James very patient as well, trying to avoid getting sprayed, just walking into the angle. I do wonder if there's some nervousness on the younger players of Cloud9. Maybe the pressure of their first match, the expectations, astronomical expectations. But it's still early. Still early in this game of Overpass. But Virtus.pro have gained momentum. 4 rounds in a row. Cloud9 are planting the bomb, however. We've got the Molotov up close once again. Virtus.pro mixing things up. This time, Walks are getting very aggressive. The AK-47 with the opening kill. Yekindar's been a key player. And we did wonder for Virtus.pro. Again, he had good ratings, but they've been against C.R.A.E teams since he came from Prostar. But it continues here versus Cloud9.
Nice shot from James, though. Straight back with a reply. Quick flick onto Woxic. Sanji not ready for Floppy there at long. Loses that fight. Now James is alone on the A site with the AWP. He might just have to get aggressive here. He might just have to make a play because he's left alone on this site. They're not rotating to help him. So James realizes he could maybe do with getting an early kill and then perhaps trying to play for retake. But James is now committed to the truck position. Cloud9 not pulling the trigger yet, though. They've still got a minute left on the clock. They've got a man advantage. This is a round that Cloud9 should win most of the time. If you're going to be picking Overpass, you have to be able to win these sorts of rounds where you have the lead and you have the entire map to play with.
I do wonder if we have some fear of James. Now, the door's been blown off, which allows him to come out quickly, because there was utility for Virtus.pro. The smoke has been deployed somewhere. I don't think it's gone in the right place, though. No, it really hasn't. And then here come the entries. Floppy trying to wide swing, but he was alone. The 3 come from Monster into a crossfire of CTs. 26 seconds, and Mezzi still alive for now. James creeping, though. Maybe position unknown on the P250, and it's 2 HP for Mezzi, trying to create some space for himself. But surely James will land the shot just about. Virtus.pro find their 5th round in a row.
Mezzi's getting close in these clutch scenarios, and you're seeing he is that last man in, trying to clean up all the mess. And the problem there, I think, for Cloud9 is that the earlier fights go pretty poorly for them. Lightning fast for James in that one, but then KiNK catches Floppy alone on short, and this is where the crossfire is established. Mezzi does a pretty good job at least getting himself onto the site, but he was low on health at that point. It was always going to be a tough clutch to win against Jame, who was so close by. And S-Attack finally buying a gun last second. AK still out in full force for Cloud9. You can see at the top of your screen, Cloud9 are getting the bomb down pretty consistently. They're just not able to win the rounds right now.
Virtus.pro mixing things up from round to round. Very proactive, very aggressive. Not sure if, yeah, Alex has been spotted now.
Ouch.
Babel gets rung through the panel. Oh, KiNK and Bust are pretty heavily tagged now. They want to be a little careful. What does Sanji have in mind here? Because it doesn't look like anyone's close to make a play. Ah, the boost. Oh, beautiful. So many targets seen. A lot of information. Now, Cloud9, though, they've conceded that info as well. Does that mean that we'll see some aggression upstairs? They don't have position. They've got no information there, Cloud9. The boosts continue from Virtus.pro. They just keep on coming. They smell weakness and they will exploit it.
I love the way they do that boost as well. Buster's low on health on the bottom of that boost, so he doesn't go exposed from the wall. He makes sure he can't get spammed. He makes sure he's behind safe cover, so he can't get spammed through, and his teammate just slides out to the right for the kill. Now, 33 seconds left.
Oh.
Cloud9 still yet to make up their minds, and KiNK's position could be key, but he goes down. Now they can run it onto this A site.
I don't think he needed to peek that deep. Could just play the off angle from that position. Wasn't going to rotate anytime soon. That changes a lot for Cloud9. James so patient with the shots. 17 seconds. Bomb's been dropped, collected by S-Tag. But how can he plant it? He really needs help. He will take out Yekindar in the meantime, but James is still alive. 1v1, 10 seconds to plant the bomb. And another flick. Virtus.pro. James is firing on all cylinders, and those cylinders are going straight in the chest of Cloud9.
It's not easy to be an AWPer in those clutch scenarios as well, but James is one of the best at it. He plays this passive playstyle really well.
There was a round earlier where Cloud9 had 3 or 4 plays together and slinked away from A and went towards B. And I feel like it was fear of James, which is making them make that rotation. He's got so many corners, nooks and crannies to dance around, to re-aggress, to take another angle, to get 1v1s. It's really hard to trade frag him at the moment, and that's certainly helping Virtus.pro.
I would love if we could come up with a name of that as well. When a player's like so good in a spot that you almost don't want to push him. Because I think of the NBA, for example, like Steph Curry is so good at shooting threes that he gets this gravity where the defenders get drawn to him. I would love something in Counter-Strike where it's almost like a repelling force, right? You're repelling people away from you because you're so good in those spots. Not a great buy for Cloud9 here. We might see a faster play into this B site, though. This is what teams love to do on these rounds. If you've got some good flashes, these plays can work.
Yeah, it's a nasty round in terms of the weapons, but Virtus.pro have got the numbers here. Looking for the opening kill. It will be the MAC-10. The numbers are swarming all over the place, but Virtus.pro are ready for them. They're cool, they're calm, and they are focused on these players. Mezzi won't last very long. 8 rounds to VP, 7 in a row on the CT side. You really want to rack up the rounds on your CT side, and so far, they're doing a good job of it. It has been a drought for Cloud9 of late. They've come close. They've come down to the clutch situations, but they're all going the way of Virtus.pro. You can see the diffuses at the top of your screen. Every time it comes down to like a 2v2, a 1v1, VP are getting it every single time.
Definitely. VP just have the edge right now in a lot of aspects. And look at the setup from VP in this round. 4 players on the A side of the map early. This suggests to me we might see some aggression from VP in this round. They're already setting up towards mid, trying to see if they can get some early kills. Yekindar just took that nade to the face, by the way. Down to half health from that one early. But if Cloud9 peek mid, they might have some problems. James just now dropping off the angle at just the wrong time. Woxic almost catches him in the back. Yeah,
there was a jump peak from the slide in the playground. You can boost on that as well, but there's a lot of action. And again, it's going the way of VP. On the CT side, they are dictating the pace on Overpass, and Cloud9 can't respond to it at the moment. Floppy and S-Tag in a 2 versus 5. Floppy is behind enemy lines. But look at the angles being held by VP. They're aware of their weaknesses, and down he goes just when he thought it was safe to make an opening. Denied.
VP telling Cloud9 to get out of town right now. S-Tag just backing away. There are a couple of low health players. I guess technically S-Tag still has the bomb. It's not very likely, though, if we're being realistic. 1v5s are incredibly rare, And this one isn't even an easy one. 35 seconds left. Esatag about to get a fight. Not one he's ready for, though. Yakindar timing that push to perfection. Virtus.pro with a 9-3 lead. And VP are playing great CS right now. Again, Sanji's having a fantastic performance. 14 kills for him. Yakindar's doing great work. James has been winning so many clutches. Everything's just going right for VP right now. As soon as we've hit the gun rounds in these games, they've just taken over.
Yeah, they've not really given up much in the name of weakness, working together well as a unit. Smoke on Monster again. Cloud9 looking to take some real estate towards the short B position. And VP have changed up their formation so much on this CT side. You can't even say, okay, they did this, let's do that, because the next round they're doing something completely different. Sanji knows his angles. Buster spots one close. And he can raise the alarm. 3 players on the B bomb site for Virtus.pro. But again, Buster's just loving the peaks here. Doesn't even matter if it's T side or CT. He just wants to peek. He wants the engagements. Sanji with the support grenades. Target practice for Buster. Just having fun here. It doesn't look like, I mean, sure, this is like anti-eco territory, but I can't imagine Virtus.pro feel threatened at the moment.
Not with how this game's been going so far. Esatag could get into a threatening position, though, sneaking in towards the bathrooms. James is jumping around on the site right now, so that might put him in a position where he could get dealt with, and then Yakindar wouldn't be too close by. They're going to go long, though, and Yakindar hears these steps. This is such a good angle. Out in the open, double spray down there, not ready for it, and the bomb has been dropped over at long. This is impossible. James gets another kill. Nothing doing for Cloud9 in this round as James showing supreme confidence on that second peak. And you can see right now, VP are playing their own game. They're continuing to play that CIS style. The individuals are killing it. This is why VP were qualified for this tournament. They've just been in incredible form recently, and it's continued.
Yeah, it really has. Very disappointing run when they first joined Virtus.pro. Very storied brand in Counter-Strike. Didn't live up to expectations, but maybe now they can here in Flashpoint 2. Stunting the growth of Cloud9 early. Such harassment around Overpass. It is a playground for Virtus.pro. Same cannot be said for Cloud9. Those balloons are not for them. The door being blown off in connector can cause quite the problem. And so can a gun in the face. Yakindar looks like he fits in quite well with Virtus.pro.
You know, Yakindar in his interview actually said he overlapped quite a bit with Buster when Buster came back to this lineup, but Buster was actually willing to give up his roles to make the most of Yakindar, to make sure Yakindar got his spots. I think it's really cool that Buster did that, considering he's been part of this core squad since 2017.
It's nice as well because it makes things fresh, like multiple roles for the team in that respect, because we see that with other teams. We'll add a new player, you just take up the roles of the last player, and nothing really changes. My God. The opening frag for Cloud9 is more or less in T-spawn in the second last round. With all that Virtus.pro have been doing, how do you even get a chance to decide what you want to do? Cloud9 have been forced to react to Virtus.pro rather than play their own game, I feel like. And that is a credit to Virtus.pro. And look how many players they have on this B bomb site. No one wants to go and face James. 25 seconds on the clock. And maybe this time they will, as we've got Alex creeping onto the site. James doesn't reveal his position just yet. A quick scope, a nice flick from him, but it's a bigger headshot from Floppy.
Cloud9 now going for the jugular onto this A site. They're planting on truck as well. Not the open plant you might normally see. Sanji arriving, but Esatag is in the front lines. Floppy lands the first kill. Esatag able to trade, and it's a 1v1. Woxic playing back in the bathrooms. No nades yet, but remember that bomb is planted on the truck. KiNK's going to get on that bomb, and Woxic may have to go into the open. He has to hit this shot, and he will. Woxic winning the clutch for Cloud9, and after a long dry streak, Cloud9 finally get their 4th round on the board.
For those of you at home, that's where you plant the bomb when no one is covering the flank. That'll probably save you 40% of the rounds you lose in that situation. And again, it's a desperate 4th round for Cloud9, but this is still a lot better than the situation they were in on Overpass. And if they can get a 5th, then that would be fantastic. There's a lot to be done on the CT side, but I think it would be difficult to match the peak we've seen from Virtus.pro It's been great to watch, it really has. Very satisfying the way they have just taken control of this map, but there's one more to go. Woxic looking for the entries with the AWP. Scoped in. However, Yekindar may have a better angle here. We shall see. Walks into it as Woxic readjusts, looking for a second. There's a third and a fourth as well on this B-bomb site. Virtus.pro looking for that early aggression from Cloud9, and in Jame, they really do trust.
Oh, this time Jame gets caught out, and that could be the round done. VP have to go for it. It's the last round of the half, but look how far away they are. They're just now rotating up to this A site. This is like maybe a 1% chance at most that VP win this round. There are so many nades for Cloud9, so many smokes and flashes left. VP have to land some banging shots here.
They really do. Cloud9 cannot afford to lose this round. No flank on the way. Maisie will keep an eye on it though. Plenty of personnel on the A-bomb site. 3 incendiaries for Virtus.pro. 1 for the truck. Time starting to run low. Probably has to be a ninja defuse here. I see the smoke sailing in the air, I do believe. Trying to see something of anything. But all they can do is feel all the bullets coming their way. Cloud9 will get a very important 5th round on the board. They've got a fighting chance moving into the second half, and that comes after the break. Cloud9 take 5 rounds into the second half, maybe the favored half for them, the CT half. What do they have to show us? Haven't been able to show us much of anything because Virtus.pro have had a pillow on the faces of Cloud9, but maybe now they can finally remove it and show us what they can do.
Yeah, hopefully they can start to breathe a little, get some freedom beneath their wings, because right now it is not going well for the boys in blue. Virtus.pro already starting to walk out on towards the B site. They've got some nades at the ready. Flash is about to come through. Esatag and Mezzi both playing in the pit position, but they both have no Kevlar. Alex has to land the first shot, and that smoke from Esatag is doing a really good job at keeping him alive. He walks around for another kill. Esatag doing damage, and it's all on Jame. Another clutch has to go his way, this time with the Glock in his hands, but he's not got the bomb. He might just have to play for the kills. Jame with the first into the 1v1, and Jame cannot lose right now, winning every single clutch match for this team. VP are just playing so well individually.
They're so calm. Oh boy, avert your eyes, Henry. This is a tough one. They're just playing so strong versus Pro. There's no panic. Completely calm. James, calm as a cucumber. No, cucumbers are cool, not calm. Probably calm as well. I'll take it. And a timeout from Virtus.pro, allowing Cloud9 to stew on that one. That's got to be dejecting. That has got to be dejecting. We see the force buyers come through from Cloud9 already. Virtus.pro now have won both pistol rounds. Let's not forget. If Cloud9 fail in this force buy, then this could be a brief half of Counter-Strike. We may go into tomorrow with limited information on what we've seen from Cloud9 because Virtus.pro have just been so dominant. Some people pay to be dominated like this.
That they do, James. I was just bringing up the clutch stats for James in this map so far. That's his 4th 1vx he's won. So that's 4 of VP's rounds he's won in clutch scenarios by himself. I mean, that basically is making a huge difference right here in the scoreline. I think Cloud9 have come close in a lot of these rounds. They've shown the potential ability. They just need 1 or 2 more kills in these spots and they would win these rounds. But it's going against them, and now a fast B play at the ready.
In they go. Numbers game, abusing the advantages of the T side. Alex just waiting, looking to his left, taken out from his right. Losing position, losing players, losing chances here, but maybe Mezzi can do something. He's found 2 with a Deagle already, and now he's gone. Woxic with a scout versus 3. This would be a miracle. Off he goes, looking for the first flick. Can't land a headshot or much of anything. And it's 12-5 Virtus.pro. The meat and potatoes of this will start with Virtus.pro likely on 13 rounds. There's not much to finish after that. Plate will soon be clean.
Not much in the way of investment here for Cloud9. Sanji's going to stick with the USP. I think that's possibly the most Sanji thing he could do. Doesn't even get the MAC-10, James. He's so good with the MAC-10 as well.
Yeah, he really is the bank of Virtus.pro. Well, somewhat underwhelming thus far, but there is a buy round to come. But these are the crucial times. You lose that second pistol round. You start against 13 rounds.
Did S-Tag jump up here? Oh, man.
If you don't win your first buy round,
go on,
it's so close to GG.
Knife. Knife. Oh.
There is a map called Jumps Training in the workshop where you can practice that amongst other jumps, some which are older.
Imagine how... Oh, wow. S-Tag with a second kill.
Oh, look at the position, actually. He split. The bomb is still kind of reacting to where he is on the way to a bomb site. Oh God. No. If he doesn't focus on James, though, he's going to get shot in the back. Oh, there was a chance there, a glimmer of hope. I think many people were just praying Cloud9 might win that just so we can see some more Counter-Strike, because that's the way things are going. It doesn't feel like that might happen. 40 seconds. Woxic trying to play for time. He's got some sound cues to allow his teammates to stay on the site. VP are really playing this one patiently. More moonwalking, and there goes the bomb. Doesn't go for the rifle. Tries to stay safe instead. Prioritizes winning the round. Would be risky to go out there. And here comes Woxic. Found a Galil, actually. And then KiNK's alone. This one has absolutely fallen to pieces. This should be free for Virtus.pro. Maybe overplayed their hand here. 15 seconds, though. Let's not have any mistakes. Oh, KiNK! Run away, Woxic. Run for your life. Where's he off to? He's still out in the open. This could still be 7 seconds. He's just around the corner. KiNK's going to the side, but he doesn't have time. Where is he going? Trying to bait the peak. Had no idea where he was. Cloud9 is still alive.
That was ridiculous. That round goes the way of...
Oh, God. There's Henry spending the money. Look, man. I'll do what it takes. Where's the salary at? Let's go. I've got a greater stars in esports. Just ask those girls on the right.
I don't think they can see it that well. They've not got the best angle. You gave the best angle to Henry, of course.
Yeah. No, never mind. Let's just leave that one there. Cloud9 have half the score of Virtus.pro. They've got much work to do. They've been gifted a way back into this. They've kept Virtus.pro off 13, and they're being pretty active VP. They're out in the go-karts, going cross-country on the grass of Long. They've taken initial map control. I don't know what they were up to in that last round, but they may have given Cloud9 an opportunity to show a bit of arse themselves. Shake the moneymaker.
Nice. These positions are somewhat interesting. Mezzy on his old team was playing in bathrooms, was playing on the A site of Overpass. This time it's Esatag playing here to begin with, though. I think Maui was mentioning he was expecting Esatag to be playing towards B and then Mezzy to be playing A, but it is Woxic who we might have to look at first. He's got the AWP on a tight angle.
Oh, Esatag was giving the sound cues away as well, and I thought Yekindar might get baited by that, but Woxic had to deliver the utility, which Yekindar can hear. He's being teased. There's a frag just around the corner. But what will Virtus.pro do with this information? They may identify that there is some kind of hold around the toilets, but what can they do to play against that? They are running the clock down, starting to deploy the grenades now. No presence towards the B bomb site. Surely it has to be A here. Esatag can hear. He's got the shadow advantage as well, but not the crouch peek of Sanji. Very nice response to that. Messi trying to hold things down. Needs a multi-frag. The pre-fire from him. 20 seconds. Bombs on the floor. Here comes a flank from Alex as well. Woxic also delivering. Starting to look brighter for Cloud9. Jame will try to hold on to the AWP. He is surrounded, however. He may even die after time. Alex though running away. Doesn't seem to know where he is. There is a pulse in this Cloud9 squad.
Pretty hefty stack on that A site there for Cloud9 as well. They had 3 players there. I do wonder whether Cloud9 have put in more prep to Overpass, just in terms of looking at VP even, because they had a really good read on that round. They had really good awareness that they could stack that A site. And I also think that if I was Cloud9, I'd have probably expected VP to pick Dust 2, because that is the map that VP almost always pick. It's either Dust 2 or Inferno, but it's Dust 2 which is their most common pick. So they may have similar ideas for Dust 2. They may have done similar prep work if we get there. That's still a big question, though. Cloud9 with a nice boost. Esatag over the top. And Cloud9 starting to bust out some tricks now. They've got some moves.
Classic strats. Hop on your teammate's head. You'll get there before the T's do. And it is an easy spray down. No response from VP. They didn't have position to punish from above connector. They have a focus on the B bomb site. James still with the AWP. I love these hero AWP rounds. There is an AK as well, but generally speaking, the focus is on the AWP. Has to be the can opener here. But on a map such as Overpass, especially towards B, off angles can be held. Look at the creep. Here we go. James is able to get the first kill. Here comes Buster as well. The numbers is working out for Virtus.pro. Now they take the lead 3 versus 2. Make it 1. Woxic has to clutch all of a sudden. Virtus.pro always causing problems. That HE grenade will reveal his position. They know exactly where he is now, and things only become worse. No need to focus on connector. Slowly edging forward. He knows Jame is creeping. Jame holding the angle, looking for the peek while his teammate swarmed. Baited him into the shot, and there's no way he misses this one. 13 rounds for Virtus.pro. They've broken the money of Cloud9. They've put him in a really awkward spot now.
Really impressive how VP set up Jame in that round, even though he's not playing that aggressively. Look at all these kills from Jame. His teammates are running him first, and then Cloud9 are thinking they need to peek to get kills. They're thinking that they need to fight, and Jame is just able to get all the information and get these trade kills with the AWP, which is not easy to do. But Jame made it look easy with all those shots. Just having the information, having the lineup early. Jame now 21 kills. He has been dominating on Overpass. And unless something changes here in this round, Woxic has got the first kill. That's a much-needed kill for Cloud9. They need to win this round. They forced up into this one. If they lose here, Cloud9 are in real trouble. So getting that early kill is a big benefit. Molly into Boppy's position. The smoke is delayed, but he finally puts it down, having taken half damage.
This is the flick Woxic. Similar positions to James. Similar positions.
Just inventing a new language for a second there.
Why not? Klingon, maybe.
Yeah.
Falls back to the A-bomb site. Some rotation, some activity from Cloud9, but they are playing the sites. Not too deep, not overextending. Not allowing Virtus.pro to isolate them. A very tricky Virtus.pro squad to deal with. Cloud9 now with the 3rd man. As I say, playing the sites, we can see Alex has gone up for the 2-man setup on long. That will make his rotation longer towards this B bomb site. And here comes KiNK, but where's the rest? The smokes are up, the site is split. Woxic will frag Yekindar, leaving to Sanji doing what he can. He's got a multi-frag though. There's still more to deal with, and they go so quickly. Virtus.pro forcing their way back into this round, post-plant positions and all.
Mezzi has salvaged that AWP from his teammate's body. Could see a boost come into play if they wanted to go for it, but they're just going to walk out. Sanji still sitting in the water close by. He's only on 2 health, but the headshot could be offered. Mezzi gets the kill from above, and it's Jame in yet another clutch. This time smoked off. This is going to be the trickiest of them all for Jame. He has to line it up through the smoke, but it's a full 10-second defuse. The leg shot lands. Jame, he's got to do it. He's got to get the kill, but it's not happening for him. Alex spams through, and Cloud9 are still alive.
It's scary to watch. God, there must be a feeling in the pit of the stomach for Cloud9 when Jame is the last man standing. He has been the problem. Well, actually, one of many. Let's be honest. They've all been a big issue for Cloud9, but they keep the fights alive. 3 of the last 4 rounds now for Cloud9. They've all been difficult. 2 by timeout, 1 by defuse. They really are starting with the toughest test possible. They're on nightmare mode in this first game. This opening game of this team, of this new roster.
VP are one of those teams who are going to test you like that as well. Just with their aggressive play style, they're going to test everything. They're going to test if your team play is on point, if you've got good counter nades, if you've got good understandings of the chemistry between the players. I think we have seen that really been put into full force throughout this game, but Cloud9 is still going strong. 8 rounds for them. They won that last one, and this is an investment from VP on a couple of players.
No.
Woxic caught up close. That's an AWP that could be recovered. The spray from behind not successful, but Sanji pushes the smoke, and VP get a couple of guns and an advantage.
The dream is collapsing again. Every round it feels like Cloud9 getting smashed by a comet. Mezzi and Alex versus 4. And then it was Mezzi, again the last man standing for Cloud9, often the last one to fall in this series. VP slowing it down. And Mezzi has to wait, expecting the flank. Ask himself what his team might do in this situation. Have somebody check the 6. Oh God, it's an execution. He really is putting him out of his misery. That's a merciful kill from Virtus.pro. 2 rounds away from a big 2-0. All eyes were on Cloud9, but Virtus.pro have taken the camera and they're pointing at themselves.
Woxic just getting caught. Hacid finally getting that kill, but it took him too long. Sanji took the time to push the smoke. Now I think we're going to have another hero round for Cloud9. I mean, they've won some ridiculous rounds here. They've won rounds with just USPs, so this isn't out of the question. They've got a scout for S-Attack. They've got aggression from Alex. He almost lands the headshot. Okay, finally gets the kill he was looking for. And Virtus.pro were trying to set up around Monster. They're still pushing out here towards the B site, but they've got to be very careful they don't lose more members.
Oh boy, look at the harassment. The lack of map control. Sanji just chilling towards T-spawn, looking for any flanks. Virtus.pro holding position. They're all in here, Cloud9. That's a nice shot from Floppy, but they need a lot more. They've got a man advantage now. Can they support him with angles? Just dueling. Aim map on the B bomb site. Floppy continues with the deagle. And there will be rifles to collect should they be successful. The bomb is on the B bomb side as well. Sanji looking for a flank this entire time, a flank which will never come. Makes his way over. Now, I would imagine he wants to frag as many as possible. The more he kills, the less rifles Cloud9 have, the more money they have to spend. 30 seconds to do what he can. Trying to invite a swing. Oh, well. We know what Sanji's main job is. Cancel everything else. Get shot in the arse. Disposal service. Jane won't be happy with that.
He doesn't have a pistol even.
Yeah, he's just trying to take money away. Oh.
Oh my God!
Oh, no, bro.
What?
Please,
How?
please.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he literally didn't have a weapon. He threw it away earlier. He didn't want to give them anything at all. He wanted to make them spend as much money as possible. I have to say, it's very efficient. Very efficient. Perhaps he took the instructions a bit too literally there.
Oh my God.
Oh, man. I've never seen Sanji do something like that before in my life. I didn't know he was capable.
VP are cracking up as well. Still a 14-9 lead for them. Good to see Floppy getting involved. I think the Flopster's been a little bit quiet so far this series. Surely Cloud9 have to make some Floppy flip-flops, right? That's got to be a thing. I'm sure they've got people on it right now. As soon as I've given them that idea, they're on it. Quick play through mid for Virtus.pro at the start of this one. They've got the control as well. And Woxic is still alone on the A site with this scout. I think this is okay when you've got an AWP up in an aggressive position, but when you've got the scout jump peeking from the site like this, if VP commit to A right now, the retake would be so hard, but Woxic lands a key shot at the start of the round.
Ooh. He's jiggling his head, trying to avoid those headshots. Now, if Cloud9 are to have a run, this scout could be a nice warm-up for him. Some shots have been missed. Yekindar so sharp, though. But here come Cloud9. They're not done with this game just yet. Now Sanji. Don't think he'll be disposing of all his weapons this time. Again, looking for the flank, but everybody's on the site, as is the bomb. A smoke ahead of the bomb. He has time. This could still be a damaging round for Cloud9. Still looking for the flank. Now, Virtus.pro don't have much money in the hole. 38 seconds. If he wants to make a play here, time is running out. I suppose there could be a hero AK in the next round as well. But should Cloud9 win this round, they'll only be 4 away. Yes, it's been a difficult task for them. Very uphill struggle. More climbing than walking. But there is a chance. Virtus.pro have been extremely dangerous. But Cloud9 are about to make it to double figures. 3 weapons in the hand. And indeed it will be the hero AK-47 in the next round. Makes sense. Reset the opportunity to try and do some more damage.
I would love to see Sanji get his chance to be the hero as well, James. You know, too often...
Sanji is the hero if you're smart.
He is.
He's a smart person's hero.
That's true. He helps a lot of stuff happen, but you know what I mean. He's getting the big... Oh, he's not getting the big gun. KiNK's getting the big gun. He's bought armor.
I knew that AK was going. I knew it was going. In fairness, Sanji's got 2 flashes. So if they can use that flash to allow him to swing and try and take a duel with a little assistance, then more power to them. But you just knew it was not going to stay in his hands. Honestly, criminally underrated. The role he has, I love it. He delivers. People will never appreciate it enough. Everybody should buy Sanji stickers. I bought a souvenir Mac 10 for this reason.
Yeah, get it on the Mac 10 or the MP9 as well. Sanji's favorite weapons. KiNK is going for that solo play. No flashes to help him. He just wants to fight. He spotted Alex towards the B site, and he's going to sneak in. This could work for him. Alex has been spotted, smoked down defensively from Cloud9. This is causing a ruckus as well. Look at the minimap. Cloud9 are rotating down towards B, but KiNK still committing to the site. No fights given to him. Now he jumps up, and Floppy gets the first. Alex with one of his own. It looks like the rotation from Cloud9 is warranted. They're getting towards the bomb site, but VP are still in contention here.
The bomb will fall back for now. Sanji, he's done his job. While KiNK was looking to make those plays later on, Sanji had the 2 flashes, go for the pillar flash. Didn't quite get anywhere, but the idea is what I wanted to see, so that's good. And Yekindar will try to do damage once again. Hasn't picked up that rifle, however. 1 versus 3. Floppy needs to stay alive here. They can't have every round being expensive for Cloud9, because if VP win one later on and they keep maiming Cloud9 like this, they may be really lacking when it counts and they're up against match point. 16 seconds and he'll make a run for it to the A bomb site. Woxic lies in situ. Looking for the plant now as he moves forward on the radar. Swatting Yekindar. And Cloud9 are 3 rounds behind.
Starting to heat up now. Only 3 rounds in a row, but because of all these low buys, Cloud9 seem to be winning throughout this game. It means it is actually getting close for them. So many CTs rotated down to the B site. Woxic finishes the job at A.
That is a stressed man right there. But it is baptism by fire, and that's absolutely the best way to do things. No soft targets. Let's get straight in there as Virtus.pro look to on the B bomb site. We've got chain flashbangs into the B bomb site, but we've also got frags from Cloud9. I think everybody wants to see this, or most people. Floppy with that long reload. Mezzi will cover in the meantime. Some some nice teamwork there. They'll all survive. They'll build that little padding in the coffers so they can buy again if they are to lose a round. That is exactly the kind of round Cloud9 needed.
Got to give a shout out to Mezzy as well. He's just taken the top spot on the scoreboard, even ahead of Jame. He's been putting up some decent numbers in terms of kills. It's not always led to round wins for Cloud9, I will say that. And he was often the last man in on the T side, kind of cleaning up the mess. But at the same time, for a rookie playing his first big tournament, he's doing a good job in this game. And now Virtus.pro are going to up the pace towards this B site. A couple of early flashes being deployed. This is a gun round for them, but they're faking the early B play. Now they're going to move into B short. A lot of nades baited out from Cloud9 as well. They used a lot of counter smokes there, and VP still have a fair amount of utility if they want to pop this site.
In they go. A second attempt. Mezzy through the smoke, though. Landed an important headshot. Buster needs a multi-frag. He's got KiNK to help, however. Swinging around the site now. They are decimating Cloud9 on this B bomb site. Mezzy needs help, and he needs it fast. He's alone. He's in the water. Woxic will try and distract in the meantime. That's beautiful from Mezzy, but he still needs more. 2-on-3. Still in the water. Looking for the burst. Low on the bullets. Woxic with a flick. 1 versus 2. Is he going to the high ground, or is he leaving? Cloud9 still have money in the hole thanks to that previous round. Does he commit the AWP? He's being given nothing. Virtus.pro playing for the beeps. If he jumps over, I don't think he's saving his AWP. He has a kit, trying to bait them out, looking all over the place, and there's Buster to put him out of his misery. Match point for Virtus.pro.
So unexpected for Buster to just run into the open from Monster in that post plant. He could have just played the time, and you see Woxic is fully not ready for that. He's no way in hell going to expect that angle. Initial spray from Mezzy, a couple of good headshots from him, but none of his teammates were able to get kills on the B site. Even though Woxic got that initial trade and put it into a somewhat winnable position, it's not meant to be. It's Virtus.pro with map and series point. 3 of them, in fact. They've got a 15-12 lead and 3 chances to close this out.
Lovely from Woxic. The aggression they need. Cloud9 need 3 from 3 now. They've had a good run on the scoreboard, but Virtus.pro have broken the scoreboard now. Broken their run, rather. The scoreboard still works. And again, that anti-eco run was so important for Cloud9 to have this buy here. Alex gets dropped. Floppy still trying to defend the B bomb site. It's been a problem. We've seen a lot of CTs in both halves on this B bomb site. Fadeaway flash towards Monster as Virtus.pro make their way away from B. Just as Woxic jumps in and commits deep on the B bomb site. S-Tag will just sit on long in the meantime with an off angle. He won't have any sound cues just yet. As things are quiet, it's Mezzy who makes his way towards A. VP trying to identify what play they should make. KiNK going super wide in case there was a flank earlier on, and Mezzy's been spotted on the site. And I'm not sure if S-Tag can help him, but maybe post-plant he can. Slowly backing towards the site. He'll be checked for, or will he? Sanchi goes wide and goes down. 30 seconds on the clock, the multi-frag from S-Tag! Running out of bullets, down to the pistol. Mezzy comes in to make the save, which leaves KiNK alone. 1 versus 4. Very expensive round for Virtus.pro. There's not much money in the bank. S-Tag eliminated. Cloud9 are heading towards 13.
That's the kind of situation where maybe if VP knew 100% that S-Tag's always been playing that A site, maybe they actually realized that he's still there. But they are just completely clueless. They didn't realize S-Tag was still on long. They didn't realize perhaps that S-Tag has been playing that A site in almost all of these rounds. And even though it didn't look pretty from S-Tag, the spray was successful. That's the main thing. It was effective on this first kill, and then winning the second fight alongside Mezzy getting into the action. Well-timed peek from him to get the kill in the back. Good teamwork between those 2 players. And this is really heating up now. Virtus.pro only with 1 AK for this round. And if they lose this one, then we're going the distance. KiNK spent all his money on that AK as well, for what it's worth. Well, I think did he save it?
Oh, so tagging the door's been broken off. And that's the advantage of the HE grenade there. Really limits the cover. You need someone to cover the pinch, but gives them more angles to CTs. And Alex comes to show some presence as well. Refusing to be bullied by Virtus.pro. They will return the favor in kind. This is a great way to move into potential overtime. One more round in regulation after this. Looking very likely with that Glock of Sanji. And boy, did they come for him. Well, then the test continues for Cloud9. They've got to go high up. There are more hurdles to jump over before they can make it to the third map of Dust 2, including a potential overtime. But I think they're all warm now, especially Mezzi, 28 for 18. Hashtag Beef Wellington, hashtag Chessington, World of Adventures.
So KiNK was the man who saved the AK previously and didn't have money, but Sanji drops that AK over to him, takes a Tech 9 for himself. They get 4 rifles out for Virtus.pro in a round they will be wanting to win to close out this series. Cloud9 have fought hard to come back, but they still need one more round to take us to overtime. And they're getting aggressive on B early. S-Attack here to help from Connector. Virtus.pro losing some map control early. Alex is able to get this early information. Now the question is, do VP have this awareness? They heard that smoking Connector, and they're actually going to commit towards the B site.
Oh my days. That was scary to watch, but they'll poke and prod, but not commit just yet. Buster still has the wide ground at the playground. Here's that awkward angle from Alex, but he's missed a shot, went too wide of the crosshair, and now short B has been taken. S-Tag has an angle though. He'll fall away from it for the time being because he has no cover upstairs. He's got to be real careful. Buster still trying to find out what is happening. What is the climate for Cloud9? Mezzi creeping. Risks are being taken. S-Tag with a 2-man spray down. Mezzi sees the barrel of the gun, and here we go. Surely it's overtime. 2 versus 4. S-Tag's alive with 5 HP. KiNK and Buster doing what they can. They don't have the bomb right now. 35 seconds. Is there enough time to do this? Buster's been lurking the entire time. S-Tag still in Connector. There could be a run here from Virtus.pro, but this is going to be a very important fight. S-Tag looking the wrong way, but backing off. Spotted by Buster. Just about 2-on-2. 20 seconds left.
Bomb just about to be recovered, but they have to go B. I don't think they can go back A. And both CTs were here, but they're actually rotating away.
Oh no, where's the bomb?
Mezzi taking the first fight. Kill is found. 9 seconds. They're going to get that bomb down just in time. And Woxic has to clutch with the AWP. He's sitting back at Heaven right now. Goes into the underpass position. Oh, Deagle in hand. He spots the first player, spamming the site, trying to see if he can desperately get an early frag. He knows that one of them's low. That's why he's deciding to go with the Deagle here, but he's continuing to clear the angles, and it's not going to happen. Buster closes it out, and Virtus.pro take it 2-0.
I can't believe that clutch from Virtus.pro. Definitely the better team on the day, just too strong. And today, overtime was not meant to be for Cloud9. So close, but to lose it like that has got to be frustrating. That's their first game of this new roster. Their absolutely first professional game. First map was a wipeout for Virtus.pro. Second one didn't go their way, but there's plenty more yet to come from Cloud9 and from Virtus.pro. Thoughts to the desk after the break.
Well, we have some very good news for Counter-Strike fans out there. Turns out Henry G is now rejoining our broadcast crew. He'll be here for the rest of Flashpoint on the desk, of course, after that performance by Cloud9. What were your guys' thoughts on that game?
I gotta give it to Virtus.pro there. I think they played very well. For a map that they have had some problems on, Overpass, I think they really put it together at the end there. Some excellent clutching from their side as well. I was so impressed with James. It felt like every time James was in a clutch, actually, in the green room, I was just saying, he's winning this. This is his. He's got this one. So really tight stuff there. I like the game plan a little bit more, though, for C9 on Overpass, which was to be expected given that it was their map pick.
Yeah, certainly on the first half in particular, the amount of really close afterplants was completely insane. So many rounds going down to 1v2s, 1v3s, even 2v2s. And in those scenarios, it felt like most of the time actually VP were the team coming out on top, which I wouldn't necessarily have expected, to be honest. But I don't know. I don't think VP are a particularly strong Overpass team. I was really expecting Cloud9 to come out strong there, and it just didn't happen, did it?
They nearly pushed it to OT after a pretty weak start on that map, so it wasn't all disastrous, right, for Cloud9 fans. I mean, it was on the first map. But the second map, at least, there was some life. But you do have to be disappointed if you're coming in saying, hey, this is VP's very weakest map. It's a punish pick from Cloud9. Theoretically, Alex should be top tier at IGLing on this map, and the result is that disappointing.
Yeah, I think the clutch factor is just such a big problem because when you're a new team, that is always one of the hardest things. Coordinating what you need to do in a clutch. Who's going to be taking point, who's getting first contact, how to make those comms clear and concise. And Cloud9, they came up behind, but they gave a good effort, and a lot of those rounds, they were very close.
Well, let's hear from Virtus.pro. Freya is with Yakinda right now. He was absolutely on fire this match, 2-0 to him. Let's hear what he has to say.
It was absolutely indeed incredible stuff here from Yakinda. Thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat with me once again. Before we go into the specifics of that game, I know we were talking before we went live here at Flashpoint. So you were saying you were kind of unsure of what to expect from Cloud9. So can you talk me through exactly what you found from them as a team?
Well, I mean, we knew that Inferno is a map that you need to actually practice a lot to be good on it because the rotations, the strats, everything is really hard on that map, the hardest map in the pool, I believe. And that's why we picked Inferno. We were pretty confident in our Inferno because it's our almost strongest map, maybe even the strongest. And I mean, Inferno went as it should, but Overpass, we have some problems lately on Overpass, so it was kind of tough to play against Cloud9 there. They were playing a really good game in Overpass. I believe they practiced Overpass, but on Inferno, I don't think they had much time to practice there.
Yeah, let's talk about Overpass for a little bit. As you said there, it's not a map that you guys are normally playing as much as some of the other maps in the pool. So what kind of differences did you see from Cloud9 there coming into it? You said they felt like they were a little bit more comfortable there.
Well, I mean, they mostly actually started playing like aggressive, especially on the balloons area. Voxic finding those entry kills on CT side on Buster, that felt a bit. How do you say it? On Inferno, they weren't so confident because we were leading really heavily. We were winning all the duels. Jame won the clutch, as on Overpass as well. Like Jame won like 5 clutches or 6 clutches this game. It's unbelievable. But they felt a lot more comfortable. They were taking like water control, and then Voxic was picking on balloons aggressively. Isdek was pushing middle like a lot, I think, and the confidence, you could actually feel their confidence, in that map.
Something you mentioned to me as well before we were coming into this match is you were a little bit concerned about the positioning of some of the players, as this is the first time that we've seen Cloud9 coming to the server as this new team. You weren't exactly sure what to expect from where the players would be playing. So how did you kind of overcome that as a team? How was the focus there, to not get distracted by that?
We actually put our attention to it. So after like 2 buy rounds, we already knew all the positions that enemy like Cloud9 are playing. And after like 2 buy rounds, it was already in our heads, and we could easily like do stuff more freely. Of course, we didn't know if like if they have some setups with different nicknames or something like that, but they didn't have, so we just knew after like one or 2 buy rounds.
And you mentioned James there being an incredibly instrumental player during that series, but you yourself as well with this aggressive style, it's absolutely incredible to see. I know you were talking about your relationship with Buster and how that's kind of helped you develop into this role, but can you kind of talk me through that and how, you know, you're allowed to be getting these aggressive picks all the time?
Well, I mean, on Inferno, it's a bit. You need to do aggressive picks on Inferno because that's the map where you can't like get terrorists all the control. Like they can't have mid and banana because otherwise CTs are gonna just get wrapped and lose. So either they stack something, but a good team will read the stack and will play on the other side. That's why you need to be aggressive on at least one side of the map, right? So I was playing my own game that I have I was playing my own game on banana that I have, and it was just a normal game. That's how I play usually. On Overpass, CT side was pretty harder because I got killed like 2 or 3 times at least when as first. So it didn't show up on my confidence. I just okay, sorry guys. I mean, it's okay. 10-5 half. Nice Jame, good clutch. Nice Jame, good clutch. No, Jame, nice, good clutch. like that.
Can you walk me through what happened in that final round as well? Because obviously we saw Cloud9, you know, starting to make that comeback. It looked like it was almost going to go to overtime. So what were the comms like for your squad in that final moment?
Like actually, I knew that there was underpass player. He didn't show up, but I knew it's their setup, like where Ezdak is in underpass. And I was watching underpass. I didn't say it actually to my team, which is a mistake because I thought that he's in underpass. And Sanji walked into my crosshair, and Ezdak got 2 kills, like in a line, you know. And I was thinking, wow, so unlucky, man. But like, I still believed in my teammates, and Kicker got a refrag on Monster, and then I knew that Buster's position is not known, and it's a really high percentage chance to win the round after that, especially after they got the Ezita kill. Then luckily they had a smoke and a Molotov to clear some of the positions, and they traded well. But what I want to say, there was one round where our team speak crashed, where James was in clutch versus. I'm not sure. James was with Sanji on B side as terrorists, and it was an important round for economy. And our team speak crashed, and Sanji and James couldn't hear each other. And man, that was pretty heavy, like mentally to accept that. But whatever, it's just a part of the game. So we just focused on playing.
Exactly.
After.
That's what we always like to hear, Yakenda. Now, just very quickly, of course, you've managed to get the first win in your group. I want to get your thoughts on the other 2 teams, obviously OG and Gen.G. I know you said OG, you find them quite a difficult team to play against just because of that style, but what about Gen.G? What are your thoughts on them?
I don't think Gen.G will win OG though. Like, I mean, I'm 98% sure that OG is gonna win Gen.G, and we're gonna play OG for the. Is it first place of the group who wins that match?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna play against OG probably, and like Gen.G, they have 2 stand-ins. It's really hard to play with 2 stand-ins, especially at this level of the tournament, and especially against a tier 1 team like OG, because they just know their game, and they're not gonna let Gen.G play aggressive, and that's gonna be it.
Well, Yakenda, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me once again. Congratulations on that win. We're going to head it back over to the desk where they can continue to break that one down.
Thank you, Freya and Yakinder. Very exciting match from Virtus.pro. They continue their map win streak here at Flashpoint. Didn't drop a map in the Pinnacle Cup qualifiers. Did not drop a map in their first match of the tournament versus Cloud9. As you heard, he anticipates, as do we all, that they will be playing OG this weekend in that winner's match. What were the best parts of Virtus.pro's game plan for you coming into this one?
So today, I really feel like VP were like a wrecking ball. That's how I would describe it. I do think in some areas they don't quite have all the team play down. They still make some mistakes. But the thing is, if you can't hang with the individuals, if you can't handle, particularly on T side, the amount of pressure they put out, if you can't, hang with that level, then you just might go out the game even before you get the chance to exploit any weaknesses they might have. So for VP, looking so impressive there, I really think they could take it to OG and they could win this group at this point.
Yeah, for me, I got to agree with Alan that the individuals for VP were at such a high level today. Whether it was the clutches from Jame or the picks that Yakinder was finding with the rifle, it always felt like they were in the right places at the right time. And sometimes that's what you need in order to beat a team like Cloud9, where there are a lot of unknown factors. You can't really anti-strat them because you don't know exactly what they're going to be going into this game with. So you do need to rely on that skill. And VP had it in spades today. It was a close game, but at the same time, VP... right now, they're just hitting a sweet spot right now, and maybe it's a little bit early for them to be peaking like this, for Jame to be going off, to have that many clutches so early on.
Jame was gross in this series.
Yeah, but if he can continue that form, VP should be one of the favorites in the rest of this tournament for sure.
How do they compare to you guys in terms of some of the other teams that we would consider favorites here? Do you think that it's possible for them to take down teams like Fnatic or Big?
Yes, I think so. I think there's absolutely a world in which they are able to win the whole tournament, in fact, because the way that they play the CT side, as we saw on that Inferno game especially, they made Cloud9 so uncomfortable all the time. Anytime Cloud9 was breaching into a bomb site, if one angle wasn't smoked, if one angle wasn't Molotov, you know that a VP player is there, and he's going to timing you the second you're not looking at it. So it is just so infuriating, I can imagine, to play that VP squad.
Yeah, I certainly agree with Maui here, and in terms of, in particular, a matchup with Fnatic, I think after seeing that series, that could be a fairly decent matchup for VP, because VP was so proactive in that game, and particularly that was probably the main problem with Cloud9 on both maps. They weren't proactive enough, but VP, they were everywhere. Individual aggression, T-side, just getting the numbers out really fast instead of doing the slow defaults, compared with Fnatic, who are just going to potentially just play slow defaults almost all the time. So in that matchup, you know, I'd really enjoy watching that game. It could be a really great one.
Well, let's take a look at a tweet we've got here from that past game featuring our talent, including Maui, on the pole. Bardolph there, grinding against you. That is very sexy. You have a lot of admiring female fans, and also Henry G dropping the singles on you from the audience there.
Damn, some baddies in the crowd, it looks like. No, wait, that's the UK chicks, I guess. All right.
Oh, man. Jeez.
All right. Well, yeah, at least Henry's there to enjoy it all, and me and James are putting on a great show right there. What's that? Yeah, we're looking good. James. Oh, man. Wow, he's not here anymore, actually. Never mind. I looked over, and he's gone already.
He's gone. He's absconded. But let's take a look at our next round, do some actual analysis with you guys, as amusing as that tweet from Atantalas was. All right, so coming in, let's take a deeper look at round 10 to start things off. You guys were very interested in how this one played out, so tell me why this is so significant in the scope of this game on Overpass.
I think this round is really cool because it shows just the relentless pressure that VP puts on you. They had 2 boosts at short at 2 different times, and then James able to come in with the op. This actually becomes a really close round, but James comes in the clutch, and it just kind of highlights at the beginning of the round, the pressure, and at the end of the round, the clutching ability. It just shows that VP is the whole package.
Yeah, certainly with this round, from Cloud9's perspective, it was constant pressure. The whole time there were things going on, reboosting short, the late round as well with Jame, which is completely ridiculous. Coming into this pissed round, this 1v3 was completely insane. I have no idea how he really managed to do it on this one, but Jame in the late round was just completely unreal this game. So good.
Yeah, and that's the second Jame clutch that we saw, 1vx there. And also, you know, if based on how close that Overpass map was, you think if Cloud9 wins the pistol there, they may have been able to come back and use that momentum, because they nearly pushed it to overtime, even with that pistol round loss down 5-10.
Yeah, they even got reset really badly at one point in that game. I think it was on around 8-14, and then they were able to win around with just deagles, if I'm not mistaken. I think 1 scout, 4 deagles. So if they had money going into that half, you could expect that they could have had a really dominant one there, because to get 9 after a really untimely reset and losing the pistol in a 3v1 fashion, I think if they had a hotter start there, we'd be actually not even on this desk right now, or probably going to a 3rd right now.
Yeah, I think that overpass for Cloud9 is actually going to be a really tough loss to take, because the amount of late round situations, the amount of clutches, as say the reset after the pistol, later in the half even, it's just, you know, that's a really tough pill to swallow when, you know, just one change, you take it to overtime, and then from there they could have won it. They certainly in the later stage of the second half, they were really taking it to VP. So I'm not sure how they go on from this. I think, for me, coming into the series, I didn't expect Cloud9 to play out that, particularly on the T side. From watching Vitality with Alex, I expect them to be much more decisive mid-round. I expect them to be running much more set rounds and pop plays and 4-1s. And it just felt like in both of these games on the T side, they're playing so default, so slow. They're getting picked apart by Virtus.pro, their endless aggression, the individuals going in. So I really hope when we see Cloud9 again in this tournament that we can see more facets to this T side. I don't want to just see defaults. I want to see them being more proactive and getting in the face of the other team.
All right. So, you know, for every dark Cloud9 game, there is going to be a silver lining, right? So for Cloud9 fans, you probably are pretty disappointed in what you saw today. I think we all are. Literally everyone said that, hey, Cloud9 is going to win this game. Not one person picked Virtus.pro, which is pretty ridiculous. But if you had to take one silver lining takeaway for Cloud9 fans, what did you get excited about from seeing from this new roster?
I think when a player needed to step up at the end of that game, they did. Esatag had a huge round at that half. Woxic had a couple clutches himself. They were shining in certain positions, and Mezzi actually looked really good on Overpass.
29-17 on Overpass.
That's crazy, because he had a pretty poor performance on Inferno. Floppy as well. They both kind of couldn't get into their groove there, and they are the younger players on the team, so you really wanted to see at least one of them pop off on the second map, and Mezzi, he delivered, so you can get excited about this guy. You can see that when they're in their comfort zone on a map like Overpass, there is some potential there. They have some strengths, and that these players, when their backs are against the wall, when they know the series is on the line, they will step up in ways, and you could see that they were broadening out their plays as that half kind of tapered off. When it started coming to the end, they started getting more aggressive. They started getting more comfortable, flashing for each other constantly, just making sure that they took the matters into their own hands, and they were proactive by the end of it all.
Yeah, certainly on CT Overpass, I thought that Woxic looked a lot better than what we saw in CT Inferno, where I think in that game he was playing a bit too passive, a bit too static, particularly around kind of the mid area. He wasn't going for the aggressive picks towards mid. He wasn't moving around so much in brackets, but certainly on CT Overpass, he was going for the aggressive picks towards Party. He was getting around Con. He was doing all of these sort of things. So that would be the bright spot I take away from this game, that Woxic, certainly towards the latter stages of Overpass, really looked like he was coming into form. He was moving around a lot, making some good mid-round decisions. So hopefully, moving forwards, Woxic can stay at that sort of form more consistently throughout the series.
And by the way, guys, even if Cloud9 somehow gets third place in this very competitive group, they still will have that last chance qualifier in order to make the playoffs. So they just have to be good enough to make it to the playoffs. They're going to get an extra week to practice after that. And so this team might take a few matches to gel, a little bit more time in order to hit their stride. So don't read too much and panic over one best-of-3 match.